Introduction to Spirit Releasement. Through the history of human spiritual traditions, there has been a belief that there is a non-physical existence that parallels the physical universe. People considered our physical world to be filled with spirits. The Assyrian cuneiform texts from about 2500 BC are the first known written accounts of ceremonies to the tribal gods and direct confrontation of spirits through prayer rituals used to heal people of negative influences. In the North American indigenous shamanic traditions, there is still a belief that mental and physical sickness is caused by either the possession of spirits or the soul loss of one spirit. The shaman and healers of the indigenous cultures perform rituals and healing ceremonies to cast out the spirits so that the ill person can become balanced and heal. When he has found the possessing spirit, the shaman falls into a trance and tells how the spirit is affecting the patient and the patient's family. When he gets the force under control, the person is healed and the family is free from its influence. The captured spirit is either put in a spirit bundle of cedar bark and the medicine man shoots an arrow through the bundle, or he destroys the spirit by putting it in a rock that has been heated and then breaking the rock by pouring water on it. As a psychotherapist, I've been doing a modern version of spirit extractions with my clients for over 2 decades. I've been trained in a more clinical approach, which uses the non-ordinary state of hypnosis. In the hypnotic state, the client becomes her own shaman, which empowers the client in her own healing. The process is called Spirit Releasement Therapy. Through doing this work, I have found that disembodied spirits attach to humans for many reasons. The spirit may not realize he's dead, or he may have some spiritual codependence issue that remains after death, and he may not be able to let go and move on. Or he may have an addiction that keeps him bound to the physical plane to satisfy his addictive needs. In all of these cases, the spirit is waylaid, and the host is drained of energy and ways which inhibit her life force and free will. There are many symptoms of spirit attachment. Some symptoms are low energy, hearing voices, physical symptoms that seem to have no physical cause, compulsions, and mood swings. When a client presents any of the mentioned symptoms, I will do an extensive interview to find out the history of the symptoms, and I will especially ask if there were any deaths or any energetic openings in the client's life about the time the symptoms began. Energetic openings could be an accident, use of drugs or alcohol, surgery, extreme emotional states, any loss of consciousness, or an out-of-control psychic experience. These types of experiences cause a disruption in the energy system, which weakens our protection, making us more vulnerable to an entity attaching itself to our energy system. The main ingredients in clinical spirit releasement are empowerment and love. It is through our larger collective connection to spirit, whether we are in physical form or not, that the healing takes place. Today, in the therapy offices of clinically trained hypnotherapists and licensed psychotherapists, healing rituals take place that come from the lineage of the shamanic traditions of indigenous peoples from thousands of years ago. These therapeutic technologies are rooted in a basic belief and premise that most spiritual traditions hold. We are spiritual in essence, and we are able, through our spiritual practices, to realize our spiritual nature and divine source. Spirit releasement is the work of a modern-day shaman of restoring spirit and reconnecting it to its divine source. In the spirit releasement process that follows, You will have the opportunity to do an energy scan to determine if there may be an energy overlay or disruption of a spirit attachment. And you will be guided through a loving and empowering process for freeing you from any attaching entity and for supporting any entity that may be present and moving on to the next spiritual dimension. In my experience, about 95% of the releasement sessions follow a specific protocol and a fairly predictable client response. If, for any reason, you are not able to follow this process, or the process does not work for you, please consult a spirit releasement practitioner for a personal session where the particulars of your experience and needs can be addressed. For your safety, if you are dissociative or if you have a history of mental health problems, consult a licensed spirit releasement practitioner to be evaluated for the appropriateness of a hands-on private spirit releasement session, and do not use this spirit releasement process on your own.